Gathered friends, tune in again to another video on the Bionicle. Today I have for you the rahkshi Elite. These are the rahkshi of my Makuta OC, Makuta Krynos. Which, fun fact, Makuta Kryos is actually one of the names that I was coming up with, and I haven't decided if I'm actually going to use it for the character. But yeah, Makuta Kreos was actually one of the names that I came up with that I was thinking up when I was trying to think of a name for the character. But yeah, it's supposed to be able be a reference to his one of his abilities. Hang on. There we go. I'm a pig. Anyway, Kryos or Krynos, the name is meant to be a reference to his main ability, which, to give you an idea of what it is, if you guys remember, um, in Bionicle 2, when the Toametru sealed Makuta Pterodax in Protodermis, well, this character can do that to himself at will in order to essentially put himself into cryosleep, usually to heal himself or to shield himself, which he actually put himself into cryosleep and in order to shield himself from the great from the extinction event, because this is part of Bionicle Extinction, and the next series, which is going to be Bionicle Resurrection, which, depending on what order I let all these videos out, because I've been filming a bunch of them, you might know who else comes back and who heralds the beginning of Bionicle Resurrection. But I'm probably gonna have this video out before then, because I'm gonna at least try to rebuild his airboard before then. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with this one because this one I had to do a lot of work on, and god damn it, why does everything have to fall? And I'm gonna just call them by their colors, because I honestly don't remember any of their names, and I don't feel like having to Google all of their names because I'm a lazy fuck. But yes, this one here. Essentially, so the rahkshi Elite is, or at least which is what I'm calling them at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that name or not. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I've been wanting to show these guys off for a good while, because I think the idea of them is really cool, and I think god damn it, I think you guys will also think it is very cool. We are having some technical difficulties here. There we go. But I thought it would be also, as I was saying, I thought you guys would also think it is very cool, which is essentially, these are the rahkshi of Makuta Krynos, and these are essentially the ones that have been fighting mostly against the Spherus Magnans, or Baramagnans. I don't know what to call them. The Glatorian and Agorian and Agori. I don't remember how to pronounce that one. But yes, and essentially what they are is essentially these are the what is the word? These are the veterans, the elder warriors, if you will. These are the ones who have survived many battles with the Agori and Glatorians. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing that. But yeah, these are basically the battle veterans, and essentially these are the ones who have who have been around the longest. And like I said, they are the elders, and they have received many upgrades to their armor. And part of those upgrades are a result of a bit of a quirk in the fact that these ones have lived so long. Because one thing that they had started doing and began to do, as you can see, especially in this one, has the most, is that they started taking trophies. They would, in order to, as a means of try, because essentially they would be trying to show how, essentially taking trophies in battle as a means to show off and hopefully essentially get their armor upgraded a little bit more. Because if for those who don't know, and I only just recently learned this in a video by All Out Brick. Thank you again, All Out Brick, for this information. You can go and watch it. Just check out, look, go find the All Out Brick video for the rahkshi. But apparently, the rahkshi are not alive in the sense that their entire body is like part of it. Essentially, what it is the karata that are sealed in here essentially are controlling uh, what is essentially animated or sentient armor. And the only really truly alive part is the karata that's inside the casing here. But yeah, and a little other note is that these are not the surviving members of a single rahkshi team, but rather each of them are the surviving members of several teams. That's why there are two green ones here. But it's also because I had two different types of weapons for them, and I just thought it was really cool, and I'm like, well, it only is going to work with a green one. And this one's arms here, which I'll get into in a second. Gotta put him back up. There we go. But yeah, basically, basically these are the survivors of each of their respective rahkshi teams, and essentially, they're actually even more than that. They're actually they're the Purple Hearts, I guess you could say, because the rest of their team members are dead. But yeah, they essentially got upgrades to both their armor and weaponry. In this one's case, he got a shield and got the I don't remember what these guys are called. He got essentially he took parts of them, and some of them were used to upgrade his armor, like the feet. But others were added onto weapons, like it was added onto his wrecking ball here, and the rest was just attached to his shield as a sort of warning to them to say, "I have killed you before, and I will do it again." Also, his shins are also from them. But yeah, I just thought that'd be really cool to do. But yeah, this one you can he spins that one around and basically just smashes them. He even has one of their stingers as part of his weapon. And I think that's all there really is to say. I will comment on some people have said like it's hard to get a hold of them, the axle piece for them back here. I never really used that as a kid. I just literally would do what I do here, which is I'm gonna do it with that other one since I'm gonna show him off next. I literally would just move the arm or whatever you want to call this piece back and forth with my thumb, or just do this because it was a lot more effective and a lot more fun. But I still like the gears. It makes it feel alive. It's kind of like that. What was it? It was this feature, especially in the Transformers from the Revenge of the Fallen. The Where they would have like gears moving whenever you'd move an arm, it would show off the gears, or whenever you'd move their heads or their torsos. I forget what that was called. What was it? Mech Alive? I don't remember. I just don't. But yeah, here's the next one. This is this is the one that I've had put together the longest. I actually adjusted his color scheme to have more of these bright pieces to match his double-sided swords here. But yeah, this one actually I had a bit of lore to as well, because essentially what happened was he got his arms chopped off by Toatahu, but was able to escape and return, and got these new robotic arms, or gear arms, whatever you want to call these. I would call them prosthetics, but it's literally just it was their entire bodies are like robotic, and the only like flesh part of them that from what I understand, is the crota that are in there, of which unfortunately I don't have any. I've been meaning to buy more crota because I don't, for the life of me, know where the fuck any of mine are. None of these guys have actually any crota in them right now. I mean to buy them, but yeah, this one, as you can see, he also his weapons also are a result of him taking trophies, which I'll uh I'll tell more stories about each one individually. But but yeah, this one he got his arms chopped off by Toatahu, and eventually he started retrieving the he got a pair of he killed a green. It wasn't Tuma, I think that's his name, the big one from the movie. Although this is where I got these from. I don't know where the rest of him is, but yeah. And essentially he started using these blades in order to and they can still do the stuff that they had with their staffs, where they infect things with their staffs, or they can blast energy out of them. And they can still do that even if they don't actually wield actual staffs. They can still do that. But yeah, I think that's about it with this one. But yeah, basically he started using these or as a means of as a sort of a answer to Toatahu's swords, because this one and Tahu kind of have something of a rivalry. I'll just stick him in the background here. Um, which one should I go with next? I'm gonna go with this one because this is another one that I've been working on for a while. Stay. God damn it. Alright, there we go. Oh, shit. Okay, on second thought, we're gonna go with the red one since he seemingly wants to get the screen time so badly. I'm gonna adjust the camera so it's a bit higher up right now. There we go. So yeah, this one is one of the rahkshi, because not all of them essentially stop using a staff. There are a good few that still have the staffs. It's essentially just whichever like one. They're essentially treated as individuals. Essentially, the way it works is the way that the kind of ranking system works is the regular rahkshi, which are the rahkshis like basics, like that you would get anywhere else, like the just the regular rahkshi sets like you would see anyone else have, is basically like just they're the newest ones, the recruits. They are the ones that have just been made, and essentially as depending on what their accomplishments are, usually they get like slight color, mostly like they get tweaks in their coloration to sort of like let them know which one is which. But and they essentially are given like slight adjustments in color, and that's kind of a way to know, like, okay, this is this one, and this one, so that they can't make it easy. From what I understand, I don't think Rahkshi can speak. I've never heard anything about them speaking. Correct me if I am wrong, but from all I've found, I don't think Rahkshi can speak. I've never heard anything about them speaking, but yeah, I don't think they can talk. So essentially, I'm assuming they can't. I would be very happy to know that if there were any like instances where Rahkshi in fact were able to learn regular speech. But yeah, basing it on the fact that they can't talk, essentially they would start to just as a way of like noting like these ones have actually survived. They would start like adjusting the colors on them in order as a way of like noting each individual, almost like a fingerprint. Like this one has these two pieces were adjusted after a while. But the way to really like go up the ranks is essentially to come back with some sort of trophy. Like this one tended to stuck with his staff, and I took a great deal of inspiration from a another character from another franchise, very minor. I doubt many people have heard of him. It's just a little guy by the name of Darth Maul. Yes, this is meant to be the Darth Maul of the Rahkshi, which is why his staff is huge and why he has the black along with his red. I think it looks quite good. At one point, I was gonna have the eyes be black just to add to that, but I'm like, I feel like that makes his eyes look kind of dead. But on the other hand, it could just be that his eyes are just this black. I might adjust it to black. I don't know. I didn't want his eyes to look dead though. That's another area like for color that is adjusted whenever they like essentially have survived enough battles. They can have their eye color changed or another piece of their armor color changed. Just something to differentiate and let them know that okay, he's been around for a while. He's this isn't his first rodeo, and that he seems to be able to survive. But yeah, this one has taken trophies from the scroll, but just more like the regular scroll. Now he's killed a lot of scroll. He didn't just kill one or two. He's killed a lot. These are just happen to be the sort of the trophies that he took and incorporated into his weapon or armor. Well, he doesn't really have armor, but yeah. Another thing I did because I never cared for the arms that they came with was I gave them these arm pieces. I know people don't have said that they didn't like these for their figures, but I absolutely love them, and this is why. Because now the Rahkshi can have elbows and it can be in different colors, whereas than for other stuff. But and also even just for like the Matoran or whatever, I never really minded it either. But yeah, it even as a kid, it never bothered me. That that yeah, you get my point. But yeah, this is that's the red one, and a little bit of and actually a little bit. So he has a bit of a backstory as well, which is that one of the things that the Toa had started noticing that just how different these Rahkshi were than from the ones that they had fought. And for starters, these ones are a bit more a bit more quiet. They tend to and when they tend to look at you differently, as if there's a bit more going on behind those eyes than with the typical Rahkshi that they would fight, like in the first movie. And one of the things that seems to be done whenever as they seem to have gotten more experienced and gotten more like years under their belt, is that they seem to have developed, or at least this one did, they seem to have developed something of honor. And this was shown whenever he was fighting the Toa of Light. Takuanuva. I know I keep going back and forth between Takanuva and Takuanuva. I don't remember which one it's supposed to be. I don't really care. But anyways, I think it's just a different way of pronouncing it because it's Takua and then he's a Toanuva, so it's Nuva. But yeah, but yeah, essentially this one had Takua Nuva had actually lost his staff by by just very dumb luck, and rather than killing Takua Nuva right there, he actually used the ends of one of his staff to actually kind of toss his staff right back at him, as if as if he wasn't satisfied with simply killing Takuanuva from just blind luck, as if he saw it as he wouldn't have earned it. It was just that sort of hint of honor that he had, as a way of saying, if we're going to fight, then we will fight, then we are going to fight properly. And yeah, that's just the little bit of backstory on this one. And because I absolutely love the weapon for this one, it's the whole reason I built a second green one, because the weapon didn't really work with this guy's arms, but I absolutely love his arms on those arms on him. The only reason I don't have more of those arms for these guys because those are really all the Hordika arms that I have on me, really. Say for that one arm that came with Icarax, but I I'm using that for Icarax. But yeah, at some point as a kid, I got two. Oh, fuck! I got you. You had your screen time. Now stay there and look pretty. But yeah, I don't remember how or why. Probably somebody got them for me, but I got two of Toa Hordika Matau, which is also why I in fact have more than two pairs of those blades. I actually have four. At one point, I just had each hand had two of them, and he had four of those. But I just didn't think that looked as cool, so I added those green swords. But yes, speaking of those blades, this is this guy's weapon. It's a sort of a warglaive scythe type thing, and I absolutely love it. Like I said, I literally built a second green rahkshi to just so I could have one of them wielding this weapon. Fuck it. But yes, and he actually does still. He's one of the few that still actually has his old staff piece, but it has been upgraded to where it can do even more damage. And that's kind of how Krynos's sort of, I guess you could say, ranking system. I don't know, hierarchy. I don't know what the word is to describe this sort of thing. But yeah, basically, it's very similar to the Romans. Rather than being brutally punished for failure, which don't get me wrong, they're not exactly they don't get any special treatment for failure, but they're not killed or horrifically maimed if they do fail. They would be That would happen for cowardice, but there is few cowards amongst the rahkshi, if any. But yeah, basically a way of kind of especially when they're younger, or I guess the new recruits, I should say. One of the ways that they tend to try and that they can really like go up the ranks is by coming back with trophies. as a way of like showing that not only did I not die, but I killed one of these guys as well. And you can, as you can see, that's sort of that's kind of how it's used. And finally, we have the white rahkshi. Again, I don't remember all their names, and I really wanted to show these guys off, so I didn't feel like having to Google each and every one of their names, and that's assuming I'd remember them through the entire review anyway. But yeah, I don't really have any real story for this one, other than he's one of the few who actually has like a gun. The arm and the way the gun is mounted actually reminds me of um what are they called? The destroyer droids from Star Wars. Yet another Star Wars reference in this video. But yeah, and just in case anyone wanted to recreate this, I used in here is actually just one of these, but I wedged in one of these. It was a tooth from Fenrak, who I have yet to try and rebuild. But yeah, it's a white one of these, and instead of it being actually like locked in by a by like like some sort of pin or something, I literally just wedged it in there because every time I would shoot this, it would come undone, and I'm like, I'm just gonna try and wedge something in there just to keep it in place. If anyone has any success actually managing to put in the thing without having that issue, let me know. But yeah, this one also has the awesome. I love these arms. I don't get. God damn it! I don't care what anyone says. I love these arms. And yeah, and I thought he would have sent. And I kind of. I this one is actually has a bit of a hand there. And then kind of the idea was that essentially he would smash it down and it would like let off a shockwave or something. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Let me know what you guys think of the rahkshi Elite. And a bit more lore on Bionicle Extinction is that essentially Makuta Krynos has finally awoken from his long stasis, from being sealed within his protodermis shell. And essentially he has taken over an island on Spherus Magna and has begun the essentially he exterminates any because he views the beings the act like the beings from the Tauran universe as superior to uh, the inhabitants on Spherus Magna. He essentially exterminates any that dare to come onto his island. And he has also been very busy at work getting his armies of rahkshi prepared for his main plan. And his main thing is that he is hell bent on keeping this island for himself and the MU inhabitants. But his main goal is that he seeks to kill this a certain being that he has been hearing many legends about on Spherus Magna. One who he has heard has been killing beings of power on Spherus Magna. A being that he only knows by the name Valika. And he says, I know not who this Valika is, but when I find him, I will kill him myself. And he also happens to have found he managed to recreate the Kanohi Kraken, the Masks of Shadows. and intends to use that in order to take on this being known, this individual Velika, because he doesn't know that he's a great being yet, and won't really, and is very unlikely to care that he's a great being, and will probably still try to kill him just the same. But yeah, that's my video on my rahkshi that I did for the rahkshi Elite. And let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. I know the red one's not in there. That's because I'm gonna do a video right after this, and I'll probably get him afterwards. But yeah, bye.